This week on Adventure Cities, we're in Sacramento, California. Woo!
Sitting at the confluence of two major rivers, Sacramento, the capital of California, is often unfairly overlooked or overshadowed by its sprawling coastal siblings, San Francisco and Los Angeles. It might be smaller than them, but Sacramento, located in Northern California's fertile Central Valley, has plenty to write home about, with a thriving cultural scene, striking architecture, and a rich sense of history, particularly around Old Sacramento Waterfront, the city's protected historic core, which still has a distinct whiff of the Wild West about its stores and saloons, warehouses and riverfront wharves. Modern-day Sacramento is gaining an ambrosial reputation for its food scene, with young chefs flooding into the capital from all over California, setting up quirky, independent restaurants like Bork by Urban Roots, a downtown fried chicken shop with a stellar speakeasy tucked behind the Friars. Sacramento is officially the farm-to-fork capital of the United States, with more than 1.5 million acres of farmland around the city, providing the freshest ingredients to an ever-growing assortment of award-winning local restaurants. If you're a card-carrying carnivore, there's plenty here for you too. Sacramento is home to Danny Johnson, the captain of the Butchers of America team, who offers expert lessons in the perfect preparation of meat. Meanwhile, out in those 1.5 million acres of rolling countryside, you'll find hundreds of artisanal growers willing to show you around their farms and let you sample their wares. In Midtown Sacramento, this embarrassment of fresh ingredients is fueling a mouth-watering restaurant boom, which I get to sample firsthand on the Sacktown Bites tour.
Sacramento is famous for its railway history. It was here in Northern California that the Transcontinental Railroad began in the 1860s. And today, I'm going to explore a little bit about that history in this magnificent train.
Actually, we're going to take the convertible.
Ah, okay. What's brilliant about this, Jeff, it's combining a lot of things that Sacramento's famous for. We've got the railroad, which is a really big part of Sacramento's history. We've got all of the fields full of produce, which is a big part of the farm to fork.
The history of the Transcontinental Railroad and how that really helped build and grow America. That's a lot of what Sacramento is connecting people through activities and history and food, and it's really great to combine that.
Whoa, hang on a second. That's a real road. How are we going to get across that without getting smashed by a car?
Jonathan, you're going to need that.
Sacramento's famous farmland is not just about food, though. It's also an excellent hub for adventure sports. Around 45 minutes drive east of the city, you'll find Placerville, a cute little mountain town of 10,000 people loaded with gold country character and surrounded by the near pristine wilderness of El Dorado County for adrenaline junkies of all shapes and sizes to enjoy.
El Dorado County is famous for its climbing. It's a mecca for people who like to get their hands on the mountains. So I've come up here to meet one of them, a local guy called Petch, who's going to show me how to get to grips with one of the famous Phantom Spires.
It's called the Phantom Spires because when they first started climbing here, it was all forested. If you look around, you can see some big old stumps. A big fire came through in the 80s, and all of a sudden, all the climbers found the spires.
Oh, wow! That's what we're going to be climbing?
Yep.
I don't think Petch knows this, but this is my first ever time climbing.
Climbing is all about your feet. Our legs are way stronger than our arms.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of paying attention to where I'm standing. Ah! You don't have to do that, but you can if you want.
Luckily for me, there was a slightly easier path to the summit than Petch's crazed Spider-Man route. And the views from the top of our Phantom Spire down across the magnificently beautiful Central Valley were very much worth the effort. Standing here in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, seemingly in the middle of nowhere, it's mad to think how close we are to a major city like Sacramento. From its famous Golden Tower Bridge to its gold-crowned State House, Sacramento is very much the capital of California's gold country. And the first nugget of gold was found in the Sacramento River in 1848. Today, that river remains at the heart of city life here, and it's also home to one of the most famous floating hotels in America.
The Delta King is a legendary paddle steamer which used to go up and down the Sacramento River, and it was the main way to get to San Francisco before the bridges were built. Let's check it out. Well, this is a fascinating boat. There's so much history to it.
Well, we were drafted in the Navy during World War II, both the Delta King and the Delta Queen. They were both used to ferry the wounded that would come in from the Pacific Theater on the hospital ships.
The Delta King is one of the most unique properties in California, with an onboard theatre, restaurant, bar, and 44 guest rooms, which you can check into year-round and enjoy a little taste of the golden age of paddle steaming. And speaking of little tastes...
So there's two rivers in Sacramento. Which one's this?
We are on the Sacramento River.
What's the other one?
We got the American River as well.
But the drinking's better here, right?
Absolutely, the drinking's always great on the Sacramento River. We have some bars we're heading to right now. It's gonna be a good time.
So you earn your drinks by pedaling hard.
You gotta work here for your beer. A little bit of...
She's not pedaling.
Cheater!
Cheers! Now, I've been to some dive bars in my time, but this one in downtown Sacramento is something very special. It's actually pretty incredible that they have full-time working mermaids. I mean, it's not just something you can turn up and do. They train for a couple of months because once they're inside the tank, they can't see what's going on outside. So they need to know where they can surface, they need to know which part of the bar they're facing. So it's an art form. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento is El Dorado County, and here the American River is dam controlled, which means guaranteed water and awesome rapids to ride, which is what I'm going to be doing this morning.
South Fork American is the most popular whitewater river in California. People have been enjoying it since the 60s. What I like about the South Fork American is that it has something for everybody. If you're a little bit timid, but you want to experience whitewater rafting, South Forks works great. The rapids are fun, but not overwhelming. If you have experienced whitewater rafting and want some excitement, it has it too. And that's why it's the most popular in California.
The rafting was brilliant fun. You know, I came out of that experience feeling energized, excited. To be honest, I would have gone immediately again. You know, when you've had a good experience where you don't just want to do it again one day, you want to do it again that day. Yay! After a hectic session on the whitewater, it's time to take a more chilled out approach to the river.
Despite being one of the best spots for whitewater rafting on the West Coast, the American River also has more serene sections, which become hotspots for tubing during the scorching summer months. And personally, I can't think of a better way to beat the heat.
Once a year, Sacramento plays host to one of the foodie events of the calendar, the annual Tower Bridge Dinner, when all of the finest local chefs from the area come together to showcase their wares. This is a celebration of the best cuisine in the farm-to-fork capital of America, right?
Yeah, we grow so much of the food that feeds the rest of the country. We've got some amazing farmers here and some really talented chefs, so we throw this party to celebrate Sacramento's agricultural heritage.
With its red-hot culinary scene, vibrant nightlife, and welcoming small-town vibes, Sacramento is unique among Californian cities, and not just because it's 95 miles from the ocean. Deep in the heart of romantically rugged gold country, you'll find a menu of adventures and outdoor activities almost as mouth-watering as the delicious food, served on seemingly every corner here.